Hello and welcome to today's Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehendiratta. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm sure you're a little surprised to see today's topic because I normally don't talk about politicians, leave alone politics. But there is a reason why I thought of having this discussion around our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, close to his birthday, which is tomorrow, of course, because I think there is a lot to learn from him. And when there is an opportunity to learn from people, I'm very selfish. And I want you to be okay with that too. Be okay to be selfish when it comes to learning, when it's about becoming a better version of yourself. You should be open to learning from anyone and everyone. So, coming back to Modi ji, you can admire him, you can criticize him, but you cannot ignore him. You cannot ignore the fact that he's had an undeniable impact on not just us as Indians, but also globally. Not just for the masses, but for the classes and beyond. So there is definitely something that he's doing right. What is that something which leaders are not realizing in the way they lead? And once they do, they can benefit a great deal from it. That's what I want to share with you today. What are those three lessons that we need to learn on leadership from our Honorable Prime Minister? In fact, I also want to confess that I don't remember any prime minister's birthday. I mean, I rarely remember my friend's birthday, to be honest. I'm not proud to share that, but it's true. It's a struggle for me to remember dates. But the fact that I planned an episode before 17th September, before his birthday, means that it's not just me, but many other people who look up to him for reasons that can only make us better leaders. I think other than Narendra Modi, I remember only Jawaharlal Nehruji's birthday. I don't really recall any other prime minister's birthday. Do you give me a shout out in the chat? Let me open that as well. Do you remember any prime minister's, Indian prime minister's birthday other than Jawaharlal Nehru ji and Shri Narendra Modi? Give me yes or no in the chat. I'm just curious to know because I honestly don't. And I think the reason why I remember his is because I want to use this opportunity to share something very valuable with you all. So take a moment, think about it. Don't Google it. Don't GPT it. Okay, just think about it. Access this mind box and see if you can recall any other person's, any other Indian prime minister's date of birth. Give me a yes or no, and that probably will add another dimension to what he has created for himself as a perception, as an image, more importantly, as the qualities of a leader. Right, so on that note, let's gear up to dive into the session. May I request you all to please bring yourself into this moment completely. Okay, somebody's saying Shastri ji, that's fantastic. I was expecting that somebody will say that. Another epitome of leadership, Shastri ji, and maybe one of these days we should talk about him too. But for now, let's just bring ourselves into this moment completely. May I request you all to forget about the world, forget about the day, forget about the future. Just be here in this moment right now. And if possible, hold this mudra. This is chin mudra, your index finger and thumb gently touching each other. No pressure needed, nothing. Facing it upwards, relaxed on your thighs. That's all you've got to do. Close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. You can remove your glasses if you like, because what's there to see within doesn't require glasses, right? So just close our eyes. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Make sure your spine is straight. Completely relax your shoulders. Relax your body. Adjust yourself if you need to, firmly placing your feet on the floor, on the ground, connecting with Mother Earth. And take another beautiful breath in. And breathe out. Scan your body and see if there is any frown on the forehead. Release it. Any tension in your facial muscles, release it, please. Allow your body to completely relax. Let your spine be straight but not stiff. Allow the air to go in and out of your body freely and comfortably. Be with your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. And with the next breath in, we will chant Om 5 times. Do it at your own pace and say it out loud if you can, if your environment allows. Please chant with me. A nice deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And whenever you're ready, rub your palms together and gently place them on your eyes, on your forehead, your cheeks, in your ears, neck, and shoulder, and just pass this energy on to every part of your body if you can. And come back. Come back to this moment and tell me you're here 100% with me. Are you here 100%? Give me 100% and which location, which part of the world are you connecting from? Are you 100% here? Are you with me? Because it's the quality of time that we spend together that matters, right? It's not the quantity. I know it's just half an hour and that just goes by like that. And trust me, I really do want to spend a lot more time. But it's not about the quantity, right? It's about how present you are right now, right here, and how you are going to pick something from this session and implement in your life. What is it that you're taking away? What is it that you're going to do differently? That's what makes this a quality session, right? So let's focus on quality instead of quantity and be here 100% so that you can take back that quality. 100% from Bangalore, Indiran, Bharti, 100% from Patna, right? 100% from Gujarat, Tushar. Fantastic. Wonderful, Madhvi. Good to see you here. Ashika Patel, thank you for joining in. ACTS Consultants, if you could change your name if possible, I would love to know who that is. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. 100%. Fantastic. Of course, I know where you're from, Bharti, right? You are a lifelong learner, and I don't forget these details about my lifelong learners, people who are humble to stay as a learner because it takes a lot of humility to do that, right? So thank you for being you. And on that note, let's see what makes Modi Modi. What makes him a leader we need to learn a few lessons from? What are these lessons that most of the leaders are missing? So before I share with you 3 qualities that completely stand out for me, like from a distance, irrespective of how aligned or not I might be about his political views, just in terms of the leadership that he demonstrates, there are three very important lessons I want to bring to your attention. But before I share mine, I want to see what is it that you take away as you see him on that podium, on that stage. What are some of the leadership qualities you see in him? Let's have that in the comments very quickly. Tell me, what is it that stands out for you? What is it that is a quality, a leadership quality that you would like to see in yourself? Wonderful, Ashika. You're joining from Canada. Thank you so much. So good to have you here. Tell me what stands out for you in terms of leadership qualities of our Honorable Prime Minister. As I said, we should be open to learning from anyone, everyone, especially if people are holding leadership positions. That makes it even easier for them to be in that spotlight and for us to get that time to observe them, observe and see what is it that you want to take away. And it reminds me of a lesson that my father taught me early on in life, and I can't thank him enough for it. It's a lesson that completely created my perspective. I won't even say changed. It just was part of my upbringing, this belief, this principle or value, whatever word you may want to give it. He's always said that when you have nothing good to say about someone, then say nothing at all. And when you look at people, look for the qualities that you want in yourself. Let go of the qualities that you can't appreciate. It's okay. We all have a few such qualities that others might not appreciate, agree with. Isn't it? Isn't it true? Now, tell me some of the qualities that you are aware of, which you think people might not, appreciate, might not like about you. There are these imperfections we all have. We all have a few imperfections, and no one is an exception, not a single person. But what we do is we waste a lot of our precious time pointing out those imperfections. What do we gain out of that? Nothing. Not nothing much. Nothing at all. Isn't it? And that's why I'm saying be selfish. Be selfish about learning as much as you can from people, because we don't have as much time as we think we do. And I'm not talking about it in any depressing way. I'm talking it as a real fact. It's factual, right? It's so factual that we have limited time and we want to make the most of it. And to make the most of it, you need to inculcate certain habits. And one such habit is to look at what's there to learn from people around you. From the worst of the worst, there is something that we can learn that makes us better. Isn't it? So what are some of the qualities for this leader who represents our country on a global platform? And the way he's done, I don't think many could do in the past. So what stands out for you? Strategic, empathetic, democratic, yeah, Anuradha, well said. Vision oriented, yeah, quick decision, futuristic view, broader perspective and consistency. Interesting, yeah. Visionary, firm minded, listener, risk taker, absolutely. High integrity, yeah. Absolutely agree. Strong decision making skills, excellent communicator. Yeah, so when I take EPSM class, it's the name of my public speaking course, Executive Public Speaking Mastery. In the first session, I always encourage the participants to share their role model as a speaker, somebody they look up to for their ability to speak with impact. And it has never happened in the 10 batches that I've run so far that Narendra Modi ji is not mentioned. Not once. Right? So absolutely. While we could say that, there is a teleprompter there and the script is written by somebody else and whatever else, he's the one delivering it, right? And he's the one delivering it with such conviction that you almost believe, and in fact, you do believe that these are his own thoughts, and they are, because of course, his thoughts have to be the anchor, right? That guides the person who's wording it. It has to be his own thoughts. And that's why the conviction. And that in itself is a lot to learn from. So the first quality that stands out for me is storytelling. Now, let's look at it a little carefully, right? What I'm saying is the power of storytelling and communication, as some of you have rightly said, is a great communicator. That one trait can help you to connect with your team, with your clients, with whoever you consider as your internal stakeholder or external, any stakeholder. How do you create that connection with people is through the power of storytelling. So whether you look at Man Ki Baat, or you look at Achhe Din, right? Or you look at Chai Pe Charcha, All these are what? All these are platforms that he used to connect emotionally with people, and people in what number? Not just Indian population, which in itself is third largest, it's also across the world, and Indians across the world who've been following all of these episodes and all of these initiatives and participating actively in that, because every single such platform created has been used so wisely to create that emotional connect when there is vulnerability. I'm sure you've heard of some of these episodes, Man Ki Baat, if you've attended any, you will see there is vulnerability in the way he's talking. He's just like, he's not sure always about everything that he's talking about. And he's very open about that. He's very open about what he knows and what he doesn't. He's so real in those conversations that it immediately builds trust. And trust is the foundation of every relationship, whether personal or professional. How do you build trust? When you come out with your vulnerabilities, when you create that space where people look up to you and at the same time they know you're a real person. Like, you're not Mr. Perfect or Miss Perfect. You're not, some utopian out of this world character. You are me and I can be you. That is a real connection. That is what storytelling can do. So I have a question for you. As much as you'll be sharing data, information with your teams, think how much of emotional connection are you sharing with them as well? So are you giving only information to your teams? Or is there some meaning that they hold to it when they hear it from you? Think about it. Let's just reflect for a minute. How are you reaching out to your team? When you're sharing information, is it limited to just that? Or are you using every opportunity to communicate with your team to be an opportunity to create real connection? What opens up for you as I share this? Let's have it in the comments, please. What opens up for you? What is the extent of storytelling you see in your own ability to connect with people as a leader? Your own people, your own team members, your own colleagues, your own peers. Are you just sharing information or are you building emotional connection? Because that is what creates a distinction between a manager and a leader. A manager is also, uh, somebody who's holding a leadership position, of course, right? And what is the job of the manager? To get work done. Is that important? Absolutely important. But that's just one of the many roles a leader plays. A leader is a lot more than just being a manager. Having said that, it's not as if everyone can be a leader because you're at a leadership position. I know you know that. I'm just going to reiterate that because there is a lot that we think about ourselves. And there is a lot less that we sometimes do. And that's why I'm creating this little space for you to reflect. Forget about what you know. I've always said there is very little value in what we know. Unless we do it, unless we act upon it, unless it's converted, translated into wisdom. Knowledge has very limited value, isn't it? So you might know that storytelling is powerful. How much of it comes into your ability to lead? That's the question for you. Building relationships with my team. Not every opportunity. Okay, good. As many as you can. Yeah, sometimes it could be instructional. Sometimes it could be a monologue, like a one person talking, the others have to listen. But whenever you're sharing any information, are you sharing the meaning behind it? That is what's really important. I'm also going to talk about storytelling and public speaking session today. Fantastic, Indira, and you must absolutely. It's never enough to talk about it. It's never enough. Yeah, you're surprised I'm not. Like, that's the frequency at which we all lifelong learners who are here in this satsang right now. How to build emotional connection can be one topic. Yeah, Bharti, that's a very interesting thought. Maybe one of these weeks we will pick that up as a separate discussion. Like you rightly said, there's so much to talk about. It's a topic in itself. So that's the first quality that stands out for me. The second quality is resilience amidst criticism. Listen, every corporate space or business space or government space where people are out to work as professionals, there is a certain pyramid structure, which means that there'll be more people at junior positions. And as you go higher up, the positions are lesser in number because we don't need as many vice presidents as we need assistant managers, right? Yeah. So it's kind of thicker, wider at the bottom, and it kind of becomes narrower as you go up. Now imagine a spotlight right at the top of this pyramid. Who gets the maximum light of it? The one who's right at the top, isn't it? So the leader is going to be a lot more in the spotlight. And then some part of it falls on the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level. So if you aspire to go to the next level, higher up in your career, whether you are in business or you're in corporate space or you're a working professional, if you choose to and if you aspire to get to your next level, please be prepared for more spotlight. And when spotlight is thrown at you, your imperfections will become more visible. When you are more visible to more people will have more perspectives about you. Think about what I'm saying. And so, with those perspectives will come criticism, right? More the people around, more would they observe. And the more they observe you, they would see you from their own lens. And from their lens, they see what they choose to see. So please be prepared that as you grow up in life, as you get to your next level, which you must, which you should, which you deserve to, you should also build that resilience to overcome the criticism that will come your way, because it will. So let's not sweet talk around this. That's the fact. No matter how good you are, you will be criticized for something or the other. Has Modi ji been an exception? Absolutely not. Right? Whether it was demonetization or it was, the COVID criticism around that time, there was a lot of criticism about lack of arrangement, lack of preparation, as if we saw it coming. But you see, there is this spot called as opposition in the government, right? What is their job? To criticize, because it's needed. Healthy criticism is required for us to be more watchful, more mindful of what we are doing as leaders. So criticism is going to be part of the deal. It's part of the package. And as you see him lead the country, you see him take that criticism to create more, to carve himself. That's what he does. He uses criticism to carve out different new progressive initiatives. And that's a quality to pick up. That's a quality to practice. How do I not get flustered with people not agreeing with what I have to say? Even if I'm at the topmost position, there could be people who would oppose to what I have to say. And that's good. That's good, because that's how I will be able to challenge my limited perspective, no matter how deep my perspective is. It is limited. It is limited to one intellect, one person, one mind, or say 10 people behind me. And a collective wisdom of 10 is always lesser than many other people around who will get impacted by your decisions. So do they have the right to oppose? Oh, yes, they do. Especially in the democratic country we live in and the democratic organizations that we create, people will have a view. And it will not always align with yours. And it might not always be expressed the way you want. So what do you need to do? You need to develop the ability to use that criticism as a fuel to your fire and not get burnt by it. Is that easy? No, it's not easy. What is it that you need to do? You need to work on your emotional intelligence. Why is the world going gaga over the whole thing? Because ultimately, leading people is about people management. And people management is ego management, and emotions management. And for emotions management, you need to first manage your own emotions, and that is emotional intelligence. Right? So building that resilience, that bounce back, that ability to bounce back, no matter what people have to say, and driving your work and your initiatives with that focus, laser sharp focus, to keep taking one step ahead at a time. So take a moment again and think about this one criticism that you have been facing for a long time, and you just chose to avoid it all this while because it's too harsh, it's too in the face. A part of you agrees to it, but then a large part of you is in denial of it. What is that? What is that one criticism? I know you have the courage. I know you're honest enough to reflect upon it right now and share it in the comments because you can. And that in itself is such an inspiration. Such an inspiration to anybody who's joining us here for the first time. People who hear week after week after week, and this is our 130 plus episode. I don't know what the number is. So we know that we reflect into this space together with honesty. That's what we do, right? So honestly, tell me, what's that one criticism you've been avoiding? What have you been avoiding that can actually be a fuel to your fire if you so choose? If you so choose. Yeah, so I think Priya is sharing anger management, that you get angry too soon, or you don't know how to deal with your anger, or you react a lot more than you respond. All of these are anger related criticism that you could be facing. And you might find ways to justify your behavior in that moment. You might say, oh, it's not me, it's you. Oh, it's not me, it's the situation. Oh, it's not me, but the stress I have. All of that is a justification. The truth is that you need to learn to manage your anger in a better way. That's the truth. So when we accept that criticism, what happens? We start working on it. And when we start working on it, that serves as the fuel to our fire. Right? People perceive me that way. Yeah, sure. So the moment we start working on that, Priya, right, we will see that that perception will start shifting as well. It will take time because it took time for the perception to be created also at the first place. It wasn't created the day you introduced yourself to people, isn't it? You said, hi, I'm Priya, and said, oh, okay, this is what we think about you. No, of course not. Over a period of time, they observed the behavior, they kind of created a certain understanding, the way they understood that particular situation to be. Can that be changed? Of course it can. Yes, acceptance is the first step towards improvement, right? So I'm so glad that you're accepting this. Wonderful. Yeah, just accept, just listen and accept it to whatever extent you're willing to accept, to whatever extent. Not accepting is not the way out at all. Now, poor organization quality, all people are not liking you in a team. Yeah, so what are they not liking about you, Anuradha? Let's just go like one level deeper. What is it? What is that quality they're not liking? What is that behavior that's not settling in well with them? What's that thing, that one thing that they're not liking? People believe I can't face failure and play safe always. So interesting. What a lovely sharing here. Like there's so much awareness in that sharing, right? That I can't face failure and I play safe. Wonderful. So that's the criticism. Can I go beyond being safe? Even if I think it's not true, to what extent is it true? That's the question to ask. Wonderful. Are we learning something here? Just tell me if it's useful so far. And we've kind of, gone a little beyond time, but I will allow that and share with you one last trait before we conclude today. Melodramatic, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Could be a criticism that comes your way. What is it that you want to do about it? Is the next question you should reflect upon in your own space. With that, let me share the third trait that stands out for me for now. And honestly, it's not just three, there are a few more. If I had time, I would take you through it. But I chose to share these three because I felt that this is totally missed by many, many leaders. And trust me, I meet a lot of people on daily basis and I've coached quite a few. I see these traits generally missing in many. The third is everybody talks about vision. Everybody understands that a leader should be visionary, right? As some of you said, that the quality we like about Modi ji is that he's a visionary. But what I love about him is the fact that he has framed his vision as a movement. Think about it, right? Take Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, or take Digital India, Make in India. What are all these? Do they sound like government goals to you? No, they sound like a movement. Every single person of this country feels involved, takes ownership, feels like a part of the vision. It's not a vision statement that sits on the wall as a poster, which is what we see in corporates, don't we? There are so many organizations we train as a company. And when I send my trainers out for these workshops, I request them to bring in vision in the first or second session at most, right? So by the first or the second session, somewhere, somehow we bring in this little conversation around vision. And then we ask people, so what is the vision of your company? Normally in a room, typically we'll have about 15, participants. That's a healthy batch size to have. And out of those 15 people, maybe one at best will be able to tell you that statement. And that too, like a ratta, like memorized, to greasy efficiency, sustainability, and contribute to this world in meaningful ways. Some heavy English, which doesn't touch your heart at all. It doesn't, because it's not written from the heart. And even if it is, it has not reached to the other people's heart, these people who are supposed to make that vision possible. You're not going to do it yourself, right? And that's why you hire a team. So if they are aligned to the same vision, then we're all running helter-skelter in different directions. And that is why we're all exhausted. We're all busy. We're all tired. We're all tirelessly working, but we aren't quite achieving what we had set ourselves up for. Why? Because we are not in the same direction. We are not walking in the same direction. Why? Because the vision is not clear. And that's such an amazing learning from our Prime Minister. He's made every vision he had into a movement. And we all feel a part of that movement. Do you agree? Give me agree in the chat. Like, Make in India is a matter of pride. It's a matter of pride. And today, so Aman was the boat founder. He was in one of the interviews, was talking about how his initiative boat is a Make in India. It's a completely Make in India story. And I remember meeting him in some party before he became he has become now a celebrity figure. And we were like just chit chatting about life and business and startup community. And he was sharing his passion about scaling up the business. That's it. That's all. Like any other founder, business owner, we just talk about scaling, how do we get to the next level, etc. And now when I hear him talk, that there's a Make in India story. Think about what I'm saying. Like, even if it is packaging, positioning, whatever you may want to call it, he is aligning himself and the efforts of his company with the movement that is led from the front by our Prime Minister, by the leader who leads our country. You understanding what I'm saying? So what is it that you need to think about? Are you pushing the vision down people's throat as a leader? Or are you able to make them see themselves to be a part of this movement? Are they able to take that ownership, saying this is our vision, not your vision, not ABC Limited's vision, our vision, having that sense of ownership? How can you transform a vision or a goal into a movement that everyone takes ownership for, that everyone feels a part of? That is the leadership quality which is missing in many of us. And that is what we need to inculcate. How do we learn to tell our story to people, to our teams especially? How do we learn to use criticism to carve a niche for ourselves, to create fuel to our fire? And how do we transform goals into movement? Let's think about ways to bring in these qualities. Let's create a conscious learning plan to develop these qualities in us as we come together to celebrate the day of a leader who never fails to inspire us with his leadership qualities. So with that, I just want to end with a very important statement that leadership is not about position, but the impact that we create using this opportunity, this platform, this role, this responsibility of being a leader. I hope you learned something from the session, and I hope you've added something to your action plan, right, that you're going to consciously work upon. And if that's true, please do share what your action plan is in the comments so that I know you were 100% here with me. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for joining the Satsang today. I will meet you next week. And I think the next week is the second last week of this month. If there is any specific challenge that you're facing in the space of leadership in your life, in your career, bounce it off with me. Write to me at Yukti, Y-U-K-T-I, at sbyacademy.com. I would love to take it up and see how I can bring it in the weeks to come. So till then, take very good care of yourself. I will see you next week with another important insight in the space of leadership and spirituality. Thank you. God bless you all.